Ghana has reportedly turned down a request for a state visit by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, according to Ghanaian officials who spoke to DW. The decision comes as tensions remain high over recent xenophobic violence in South Africa.
Ghana has refused for President Cyril Ramaphosa to come to Ghana because of the xenophobia that's happening in South Africa. In order for you to understand how serious this is, you need to look back in April, when Ghana raised concerns over a Ghanaian being intimidated by Victoria Africa. I'm pretty sure you know who Victoria Africa is, a member of the Patriotic Alliance. There was a massive video that was...
Hello guys, how are you all doing? So guys, it's another day, So I've been seeing videos of people commenting on how South Africa wanted to visit Ghana. The same Ghana you guys are asking is, you ask their citizens to leave and go back and fix your country, their country. If you remember this lady called Victoria of Africa, she says, oh, why would you be blaming us South Africans? Go and blame your government who were unable to fix their country. Then how come President Ramaphosa wants to visit that country? That shit country, according to South Africa. How come? You know, the way I love how Ghanaians are handling this issue, I just love it. I love how their president, their government is standing with its citizens. Take action against them. See, anything South Africans are having, start thinking of how you guys are going to nationalize the MTN. And I can't wait for Nigerians to come, because Nigerians have given South Africa deadline till 31 of June, and I believe the government will back Nigerians, because enough is enough. Since as their president doesn't want to take responsibility of what is happening in their country, they are begging. South Africans are not people you have to beg them to respect the law, because even if you beg them, they will not listen. You need action. That's why they're still scared of the apartheid government till now, because of how these people treated them in the past. They're still scared, and how they are still treating them. How the apartheid government is still treating them, it's really horrible. It's horrible, guys. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop your comment. I see a lot of South Africans, oh, Ghana, we don't care about your country. Even if you don't want our president to come, we don't care what our president is doing in your country. Our country is fine. This is how they keep saying, but they don't even know what is happening. They don't know. Guys, watch this video.
Ghana raised concerns following the killing of a Ghanaian citizen amid protest on 30th June that called for migrants to leave the country. Sources within the Ghanaian government say the planned visit, which was expected to take place in early August, was declined to avoid possible public backlash and protests in Ghana, while emotions around the issue remain strong. But despite the tensions, Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa says relations between the two countries remain strong.
We don't have any diplomatic row between the two countries. The two countries have been good in terms of friendship, in terms of our bilateral transaction, in terms of also our multilateral businesses across board. I think that the government of Ghana had only wanted what it's demanded of every other government across the globe, that you take care of any country's citizens that find themselves in your country. You make sure that we have this, you call it the spirit of Ubuntu, working among all of us. I think at a point we felt that, and rightly so, that there was a bit of a challenge when it came to those things. And I'm sure that the government is doing much to improve upon that. Relationships are top notch. There's no diplomatic row between the two of us. We are only being fair and being that person that is supposed to hold you accountable. I'm sure that if these things were to be happening in Ghana, it would be the same thing. We'll be holding the Ghanaian government accountable. So it's not wrong that we hold the South African government accountable.
The Ghanaian government has terminated the state visit of President Ramaphosa to Ghana in the month of August. President Ramaphosa is supposed to have a state visit to Ghana, and the Ghana government has cancelled that visit as a result of the ongoing Afrophobic, xenophobic, and anti-migrant protests taking place in South Africa. The Ghanaian government has not been very happy with the South African government handling of the anti-migrant protests taking place in South Africa, and as a result, the Ghanaian government has cancelled the state visit. Absolutely plausible. I want to laud the Ghanaian government for taking these actions. I think 2 Ghanaians have been unalive during this protest, and the Ghanaian government is showcasing or informing the South African government of its disappointment in terms of handling the current crisis. Ramaphosa has been so lackadaisical when it comes to the handling of the current protest. He has kept mute. He hasn't done much. he has allowed the South African police to work hand in hand with the protester to harass African migrants living in South Africa. And as a result, we have seen several African nations repatriating their citizens. We saw Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, Mozambique, Malawi, Zimbabwe. I see several African countries are bringing their citizens back home from South Africa as a result of this protest. So Ramaphosa has himself to blame. You see, this is just the beginning. There would be a ruptured relationship between South Africa and the rest of the continent due to the behavior of South African citizens and the ineffectiveness and the nonchalant attitude of the South African government and the state to protect those who reside in their country, be it African migrants or migrants from anywhere in the world. The South African government have been so reluctant to enforce the rule of law in South Africa, where citizens are not enforcing the laws of the state. Citizens are not asking people for documents, shutting down businesses of migrants, which is unacceptable, which is against the law, which is against rule of law, which is against democracy. But Ramaphosa has kept mute and allowed the citizens to run rampage in South Africa. This is just the beginning in terms of a ruptured relationship between the South African government and several African governments living on the continent. Thank you.
Trending, went viral, of her intimidating this Ghanaian national. Eventually, we expected a meeting to happen between Pretoria and Ghana, but that never happened, or at the very least, we don't know if that meeting ever took place. But what we do know is that Pretoria did release a statement saying that they are going to crack down on all these anti-migrant movements, all these movements that are xenophobic. That was Pretoria. I'm paraphrasing. They didn't actually say that, word for word, but that's what, that's the statement that Pretoria was, that's the type of energy Pretoria was giving out. The question you're probably going to ask me is, did they actually do that? No, not really. Maybe they were doing it undercover, but, publicly speaking, we've been seeing that all these anti-migrant movements have been growing in stature. I mean, they've been gaining so much popularity. All these protests happening across the entire country. It doesn't look like there was much of a crackdown. Now, fast forward now to July, South Africa and Ghana were now scheduled to have basically a meeting about diplomacy, trade. Not about immigration. That's small issues. We're talking about money here. But now what Ghana has done, they're like, we can't talk about business, we can't talk about trade, we can't talk about us cooperating together with this issue of xenophobia that's currently happening in South Africa, that's currently happening in your country. It's gonna overshadow everything. Sort that issue out, and then maybe we can revisit it. So they've postponed it to August, and it will be interesting to see how things will be in August. Maybe things would have smoothened out, but definitely what we're clearly seeing is a signal from an African country to say, South Africa, your position within the African continent is at threat, because now we're going to be looking at you guys, through a different lens, because if you don't handle your business, it's going to stop us from doing business. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if South Africa is going to continue to be tentative and sensitive over issues of immigration and over issues of individuals who are targeting foreign nationals. It'll be interesting to see if South Africa is still going to be, playing on the fence on this matter, or are they going to take decisive action? That is a question that only the South African government will be able to answer.
Only the few South Africans who have sense will never love what is happening in their country. Even Donald Trump was chasing illegal foreigners away. ICE is an agency that is meant for this job. Get illegal foreigners and deport them. Jacinta, is this her job? Vigilante group walking around asking people's documents. Before South Africa wants to compare themselves with America, know that ICE is legally recognized by the government. Is Jacinta match to match recognized by the government? You are just a vigilante group. Let your government, let your police go about checking documents of people, not you guys. This is what they keep explaining to you guys. You'll be like, we don't care. We don't care. When will you guys care? When will you guys start taking responsibility? The worst part is that those people will be committing crime and they'll be saying it is foreigners that are committing crime. Because the most sane people on earth are South Africans. They don't take responsibility of their actions. They know, oh, if they commit crime, they will say it is foreigners. Everyone will believe it. You see? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop your comments. See you guys. Bye.